anytime someone like does something and like pushes the bar, it just shows everyone else that it's like doable.
It's possible.
So then way more people get it, and then the bar just gets pushed further. And I feel like we're at like the peak of that right now in the sport. Like it just gets pushed further daily.
What's up, guys? Today's guest is a professional movement athlete and a member of Riskhouse. Please welcome to the JAMCast, Mr. Richie Mannarino. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Good to see you, dog.
It's good to see you too, bro.
Thanks for making the time to come through.
Of course, bro.
I'm loving the shoe selection too, by the way.
Thank you, dude. Dude, it's funny because like I'll buy these to train, which is so stupid, and then like I don't know if you can see.
That I don't know if the cameras picked that up. That's the curse of the old like Kalengis. Also, we used to all fall apart like that.
Really? Yeah. Like I don't know. I haven't found like a shoe that I'd like love for free running, if that makes any sense. The Jesse LaFleur shoes are pretty nice, honestly.
I was gonna ask you if you've worn those because some people have like I know some people love them. Some say it's a little too high for their ankles.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I feel. Like I like lower kind of shoes. But my friend Ryan has a pair.
Have you tried these, the Ultra Range?
No, I haven't.
Oh, bro, this is what everyone's wearing these days.
Really?
Dom Tomato wears them. Bailey wears them. Like,
actually,
it's kind of
I've
taken
seen
off.
Bailey in them.
What size are you?
Like 9.5.
Oh, bro, try it on, dog. Bro, try it now. Yo, this is the first on the JAMCast. We're exchanging shoes. This is the right one. They're super light, which is kind of cool. So that's like a 9. Yeah. So, and it has decent grip with the gum sole. So. Yeah, exactly. JAMCast first, y'all. Exchanging shoes on the JAMCast. No, but what you bring up is kind of a topic that's really, really funny. I feel like so many companies, from the WFPF to Tempest to, Farang, everyone has like their own shoe iteration they've tried to create, even down to like Strike Movement. But I feel like everyone's still searching for that perfect shoe.
Because I feel like the shoe is really individual to the athlete. Like everyone likes a specific thing for the way they move. So as they make more like shoes for parkour and free running, I feel like there'll be more options for all the athletes. So then like there'll be a better selection. But for now, there's only like a couple like real shoes for it.
100. I still can't believe you train in those, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I destroy them and like. Yeah, I have these and like a pair of Nike free runs, and like I've had those since I was like 12, So,
no way.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That is crazy, man. Well, yo, more than anything, thanks for making the time to come through here. It's kind of unique. Like, I feel like I've seen you pop in and out of Los Angeles so many times over the years. Now you're an actual fixture here in LA. Is that correct?
Yeah. So, finally live out here.
Yeah. When'd you make the move out here officially?
About like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I was So I grew up in New York, and then I moved to Chicago when I was like 15.
Okay.
And then moved to LA like when I was 18, around my 18th birthday.
No way. Okay. That's super crazy, man. I have to be fully transparent with you. So I was introduced to you by Ben Jenkin.
Really?
Who is a legend in parkour game, in my personal opinion.
No, agreed, yeah.
He used to send me clips of you over at Camp Woodward going off, and he used to be like, yo, who's this dude? He's popping off, like doing crazy stuff. And I'm like, yo, who is this? And we immediately used to always remember Roloflow, Solo Flow, YOLO Flow.
Yeah, it was such a thing. It started as such a joke. And like, dude, Woodward, like for real, like changed my life, I think. Cause I was training and like, I saw it in the background of like a parkour video. I think, do you know Johnny Donahoe? I super like old like WFPF hotshot.
100%.
Like, yeah. So I think I saw a video of him at Woodward. I just saw like on one of the skate ramps, like the name of it. I was like, dude, what is that? Like Googled it, found out about the camp. Like parkour program wasn't even a thing yet. They had it as like urban tumbling, and it was super sketch because of the liabilities. It was really funny. They had it like once a year for like a week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And me and, Bug Boy?
Yeah.
Me and Bug Boy showed up there together at like 11 years old and just like started messing around. Met Steve DeGuiro, the Mo.
Yeah.
the one who owns Steel City in Pittsburgh. Just started training, like progressed really quickly at Woodward because it's just like all you do with there is train.
Yeah, 1,000.
And then once like the parkour program became a thing, I think the next summer, like Ben Jenkins came out there, Tim Sheaf, like all those people. That's how I met Pasha, like everyone like that. Like
it's crazy. And so like
really cool.
When you had gone to Camp Woodward, obviously you had some exposure to flipping at that point, right? Like how long had you been training and what got you into acrobatics at first?
Maybe like 6 months. I was training for like no time at all before I went there.
Okay.
And like what got me into it, it's really funny. So like I'd always liked movement. I've always tried like little things. Like I was talking to Gavin yesterday. Like we were both like really little. We remember seeing this Disney movie called like Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior.
100%.
Yeah,
dog.
and we were like,
I know what you're talking about, bro.
We were like, dude, let's go try punch fronts and stuff. Like, so like I always was interested by movement and stuff. And then I just remember when I was like 10, it was like Christmas, and I was like, dude, let me try a backflip right now. Tried it. It worked in my grandparents' living room. I was like, no way.
You just landed it first try?
Like hands and feet. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, because in my head, I was like, dude, if I just like throw it like I would on a trampoline and then just put my hands above my head, I was like, I can't neck. I'll just catch myself. I'll do like a bad back handspring. Okay. So like I did that once and was like, all right, like I can get it to my feet. Like landed it like third try, and then my little sister was taking gymnastics.
Okay.
Went with my mom to pick her up from there, and when I went into the gym, Bug Boy was there, and like I was like doing standing tucks or something. He was like, "Do you do parkour?" I was like, "Sure, bro. Whatever that is." Looked into it, and then I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing this from now on."
No way. Yeah. So, did you ever enter into any formal classes, or was all self-taught, self-trained?
Mostly self-taught for the most part. Like just learning from my peers, you know. Like when I learned Bug Boy Brian, he taught me how to like twist a little bit, and then there was this one coach at the gym, Donnie.
Okay.
And I didn't want to do classes because it was like a gymnastics gym, but if I like paid her for privates, I would just get to show up for like 3 hours and do whatever I wanted.
Sick.
So I was like, this is the move. And she was like, it was funny because she was like a really good gymnastics coach, but she knew that like for what I wanted to do, I didn't care about like form exactly. So she would teach me like ghetto tech, you know?
Yeah, just enough to not kill yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, just enough to not kill myself. Exactly.
No way.
Yeah, it was funny.
That's tight, bro.
But dude, I remember when I was like 13 posting a video of me at Woodward doing like a con gainer and like a double back.
Dude.
Yeah, and I remember you commenting on it, and I was like, dude, no way. And I remember responding and like talking to you a little bit. And you said you were in I think you were out of the country filming for Transformers at the time. Yeah, I remember that so clearly.
It's so crazy. And you know what's funny is that was one of the videos that Ben had sent me back and forth.
Really?
Like, yeah, man. Yeah, we really like. Here's the thing, Ben does not get impressed by many people. Like, and I think it's just because he's at such a high level himself that it's hard for him to get impressed. But when he does see certain people, he immediately is like hooked on their movement. And you were one of the people he watched. I would say the only person I've seen him like kind of excited about since then is Ellis Torhall.
Ellis is amazing.
Yeah.
Ellis is a monster.
Ellis is the new gen killer in Ben's opinion. And I think it's because not a lot of people are as good at bars as Ben and Ellis are.
Yeah.
Bar game's kind of slept on.
Dude, yeah. So a lot of people aren't that great on bars, and Ellis is like a monster on bars and everywhere else.
And everything else. Yeah.
But his bar tricks are unreal.
The thing that I really am curious in, I can't wait to see with Ellis is obviously we're inundated with tons of gym clips where he's killing it. And obviously he can still do all of his tricks outside. I think what's going to really seal the deal is if he can start doing like Verky, where he starts doing like crazy Kong prees also.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So he takes it like the extra step with the parkour and then just throws it into the line.
Because he's at such an advanced level in free running right now that like we say there's like b-boys that could do like 45 air flares. Yeah. It's like you could probably stop doing power for a little and just focus on like other elements.
Exactly.
So Ellis could chill on bars for like 2 years. Exactly. And just let everyone catch up.
The skill will stay there for sure. So you could just, I don't know.
Yeah, he'll still be miles ahead of so many people.
Yeah. He's a crazy athlete. Is there anyone that like you've been watching recently that just impresses you?
In my personal opinion, the few people that we do watch on a consistent basis parkour-wise would have to be people like Ellis. I'm a really big fan of Archie Arian.
Yeah.
I just like his flow.
Unreal.
And Nico Flow, obviously, is super dope.
Yeah, Nico's one of my favorites. Yeah. Just the way he mixes tricking into like the free running is so sick.
And honestly, and it's gonna come as like a funny way to say it, but dude, I love watching Bailey.
Yeah,
because
same.
He's so new and he's so hype. Everything's so like he's like what I was 10, 15 years ago, where I was like my eyes were open and all I would see is spots everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, which camera should I look at quick?
Yeah, this way.
Yo, shout out Bailey Payne. I don't know anyone that trains harder than him. Literally, he's out
there
every day and just kills it.
I don't know how he recovers that fast, and even if he doesn't, he just pushes through.
Yeah,
like,
he just doesn't care. He deals with it. The funniest was like I was watching him try corks downstairs.
Yes, bro.
Which he was like, I'll just start with 1, then I'll do 2, then I'll maybe do 4. Like, I was like, what does that even mean?
It's so crazy because like in the relative scheme of things, he started doing parkour a long time ago, got into tricking at a high level, and then just got back into parkour like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like really just rediscovered it like right before COVID, honestly, guys. And like that's when we started training hard. Yeah.
It was like right before COVID, and he was like, all right, well, he has the power from everything else. Like he's got all the big tricks, like everything like that. So once he just started doing prees and like just like big Kong prees and stuff, like I don't know. And he seems so happy about it too. It's sick.
The thing that people don't realize too is that he never lifted weights or trained his legs before parkour. And around the time that he started training parkour, he also started lifting over. He started lifting like over at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Over in Westwood. And so because of that, I feel like he's so strong now that people talk trash about him not being able to trick, not realizing my man's legs are stronger than ever right now.
It's like he was I remember he was telling me like the other day he was out training with him and he just did like some little line and then ended it with a round off trip on concrete. And I was like, that's not something that a normal person does. Like
we were here 2 weeks ago shooting a jam breakdown, and they just had a warm-up session for 20 minutes while I was literally setting up the cameras. And I go out there, and he's like, think I should go for dub, dub, dub? I'm like, yeah.
He landed
One shots it. We start to walk into the room, and he goes, let me try triple cork. One shots it.
Dude, like.
And then he's like, let me set a timer for snatch cannon. Sets the biggest snatch cannon timer, and I'm like, bro. He's like, no, we're not doing that today.
He's like, this isn't something you could just throw.
So crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts. Cause like I don't know, I feel like a lot of people, like not most of his following, but like some of his followers follow him for the tricking stuff. And so now that he's doing more like jumps and stuff, like they're kind of annoyed. They're like, oh, you're not training. But it's like, bro, he's training harder than ever.
Oh, it's so funny.
And he's a robot. Like, he can just do anything he wants. Like, I don't know.
Literally. And I give it to him, bro. What a lot of people don't realize is, like, you see guys like Dom Tomato out there throwing down hench tricks and hench KDPs. Yeah. Bailey is relatively significantly shorter than a lot of those guys.
He really is. He's like my height, and I'm pretty little, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I know from experience.
We're not built like Alfred Scott, you know?
Like, we just recently went to New York to Battery Park, and he tried to do this KDP challenge. I don't know if you saw. He kept like hitting it and not sticking it, and it was a challenge that Ben Jenkins, Phil Doyle, Pip Anderson had all done like 10 years ago. But I'm like, bro, Ben Jenkins is 6 feet. Yeah. Pip Anderson is 6'1". Philly D's like 5'10", so don't feel bad.
That's crazy that they're like that tall. I feel like movement on is, well, for like prees and stuff, it's like, it's a little easier, but for like flips, I feel like the height gives you kind of like a disadvantage. It's
really crazy to think about. Like that is something that I was going to ask you about, because obviously your personal style caters to extremely fast twitching, extremely fast, like fast twitch muscles, extreme twisting, and obviously being able to tuck out of anything.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. And so like going back to your fundamentals, like did you spend most of your time primarily in the gym on a spring floor, or did you use tramp a lot?
A lot of trampoline. Okay. Yeah, that was kind of where it started. I just remember like wanting to, I remember just asking my parents for a trampoline. And like when I finally convinced them to get me one, I was just out there for like hours, like trying to like figure out what air awareness was, you know, like I remember like my first backflip, it was just me like pulling against the net of the trampoline. It was basically a standing palm flip now that I think about it, but like just threw myself backwards and it kind of worked. I was like, no way. Okay. And then got like just more into just like bouncing around on that, like wanted to like show my siblings how to do stuff, you know, got like really into it. And then once I actually like figured out backflips on floor and I was like going to that gym that my little sister was going to, by that point, then I was like, all right, like I'll just become a gym rat for a little bit, get all like my fundamentals down, and then I can start like playing around with everything like outside and just like connecting stuff and runs and stuff.
So how many hours a day were you training back in the days on the trampoline and then at the gym?
Dude, when you don't get sore, when you're like 10 and you don't get sore, you can train for like 6 hours a day.
2 a days, 3 days.
Yeah, literally. Like you just don't have to stop training. Like I remember people telling me when I was like 13 that like, oh dude, like you're so lucky, like you're gonna start to feel it. And I was like, bro, what does that even mean? Like, I didn't even know what that meant at all. I was like, you just do this and you continue doing it forever. Like,
dog, I'm gonna tell you this now, being in my 30s. Like, bro, I have to be so warm to even throw a trick nowadays. Dude. I used to like my warm up used to be like, oh, let me do a Webster and see how high I land. Like, oh, it's gonna be a good day. I feel light.
That's like, see, that's kind of where I am right now. But like, I just had my first like little knee injury, and I'm like, dude, this is a dangerous path to go down right now. Like,
bro, I'm telling you,
gotta make sure I recover like before I do anything.
Surgery. I'm just letting you know. Yeah.
What happened here? It was like the inward 720, right?
Inward 720 roll, and right at the last part where I went to just tap and roll out, I put an 8-incher down because it was my first time trying it, and when I went to roll, I got stuck. And I basically did like the ultimate like dab, where I basically just landed on my arm and my head and body just touched the ground and just completely popped my shoulder, dislocated my shoulder, tore my labrum in half, fell off the bone, so they had to find it. And then I have 4 bone anchors holding it in place now.
That's terrible. That's so bad.
Yeah. And because of that, I've developed a bone spur now, which is now cutting into my own rotator cuff, which they may have to repair again. So it's living the life, bro.
Yeah, it's tough hearing about long-term stuff. You know, everyone I talk to like just has a ton of injuries from doing this forever.
100%. And like with the exception of your recent knee injury, I feel like one of the only major ones I remember back in the day was you breaking your wrist.
Yeah,
at the park.
Yeah, that was honestly rough. That was like the worst one. I've done that exact thing to both wrists twice. Every other time though was not doing parkour. Like,
no way.
Yeah, dude, I like rode off a bike and like landed with my arm out. I like fell off a bunk bed backwards. Like,
okay.
Yeah, a bunch of dumb stuff.
So it's always been like wrist or arm injuries though.
Yeah, basically, or like hit my head.
Yeah.
You know, like a little concussion here or there, but
crazy.
Try to keep the brain healthy.
I think the thing that's funny about the parkour, and it's not funny, but it's like interesting, is that like you could tell you're solo training when it happened. Like you could tell you're out there alone.
Dude, yeah, I put my phone up against a bag right after school and I was like, I'm gonna do this castaway. And I like climbed up. I remember I tried to do it in a line. So I wanted to do like gainer, climb up it, and then just like do it real quick.
Yeah, link it.
And like the way the thing was shaped, like it's a metal structure that goes like this. And there's like a very top one. So I did the gainer, climbed up, and like I wanted to cast off the lower part, ended up like climbing up to the top one. I was like, wait, this isn't right. So I climbed back down, and like as I was going down, I was like, dude, I already messed the whole like fucking lineup. Should I just restart? And I was like, nah, let me hit the cast. Like did it, over rotated, just like as soon as I landed, I was like, yo, that felt kind of weird. Like maybe I'll be good in a minute. Looked at my arm, was like, this isn't real.
No
like,
way, you could tell it was messed up.
Yeah, because it was just immediately, it looked like the little like the AC/DC symbol.
Yeah,
you know? It looked
it's
like
crooked.
a lightning bolt. Yeah, I was like, this isn't
So
good.
what'd you do? I think like a lady was there.
Yeah. So I started cursing. I was like, fuck. I was like, fuck. Because I'm like on my middle school playground, and this lady's there with her kid. And so like her kid like starts to like say something. Like I think he started cursing too, honestly. And then like the mom was like, yo, like, are you okay? What happened? I just hold my arm up. It's like dangling. She's like, oh no. Like I was like, I'm mad I trimmed that original clip because it was like 30 minutes long.
No way.
It's literally like my mom getting there being like, you're such an idiot, like taking a photo of my arm and then like going to the hospital. Like it had everything, but I just like trimmed it to like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
Like, the clip's gone, bro. Like,
No way.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so funny.
But the lady called like an ambulance, called my mom, and then I remember my mom got there before the ambulance and was pissed. She was like, dude, like we could have just driven you there. Like
Save the money.
exactly, bro. Like on site. She was like, this is so stupid.
Yeah, people don't realize the ambulance is like $500 to $1,000 when they get called.
Yeah, just to ride.
Just to ride.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it's an expensive. It's an
that's
expensive
before
Uber,
they start
dog.
giving you anything.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's like a Uber Black times 3.
Yeah, exactly. And then they charge you for like Band-Aids, you know?
Exactly.
Like 25 and stuff.
That's crazy. So did you have to have surgery on that wrist, or like over time has it been able to kind of like, I guess, heal itself?
So yeah, at the time I was like luckily young enough to where they basically gave me like 2 options. It was like you can either have the surgery, or they were like, we can like give you a little needle, like a little anesthetic, and then we'll just snap it back right now. Yeah. And I was like Mom, like what seems like the better option? She was like, surgery's not good. Don't do surgery. Like
totally.
you're young enough for it to recover. She's like, it's gonna suck, but just do that. I was like, all right. And then dude, I remember the doctor played me, bro. Like he told me the needle was gonna be like this big, came out with like the biggest needle I've ever seen.
And you're
like,
awake.
Yeah, I'm awake fully. Just like put that into my wrist, and like I was like, okay, well at least it should numb it. And then like literally 3 seconds after he put it in, just like snap. Like
Did you feel it?
yeah, so bad.
Oh, what? So like, what's the point of this shot?
Horrible. So I guess the anesthetics for after, when like the pain really starts to
When
like,
it starts inflaming.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's what it was for, not like actually setting it. But it just felt like I re-broke the wrist. I was like, what was that, dude?
Holy crap, that is wild.
But like it healed pretty good. Like now I don't really have any like long-lasting wrist injuries.
Okay.
Sometimes if I don't like warm up my wrist before I train in like the winter, like I'll feel like my fingers go numb. But like I feel like that just happens to like a lot of people. Like,
yeah, I mean, just in general, like blood flow and stuff like
exactly.
that. Yeah,
I feel like that doesn't have to do with the wrist too much.
That's crazy, man. That's super cool. And so, like, obviously, you mentioned like you were just training endless amounts of time because when you're young, you don't get sore. I guess a better question is in those fundamental years, were you doing a lot of individual training, or were you training with people like Bug Boy all the time?
mainly alone because there wasn't too many people like near where I lived that trained. The only one that like there was like Bug Boy, a couple other people who don't really train too much anymore. A couple kids like Ezra Peterman, if you know who that is. Just like the kids that I would like go to Woodward with who were from New York. They just all lived in like pretty different areas.
Yeah.
So and we were like really young, so it wasn't like we could just drive to like train the way I could now.
100%.
So it was more like on my like are my parents free? Can they take me to like 45 minutes away to like train in some random park,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so I mainly just trained like around the town that I lived in when I was younger, and just like tried to find like as many spots as I could just around there.
Wow.
Just, like jumping around train stations and like going to parks at like schools and stuff.
Okay. And what do you think the secret is to like your style? Like, is it something that just kind of developed over time because you found it easier to execute twists and flips and stuff, or?
Dude, honestly, like I love the way like Kong Pre's and like precisions and all that look. I swear though, I just can't see good, bro. Like I have glasses, and so if I take these off, if I got contacts, it might solve the whole issue.
Okay.
But like if I take these off and I try to do a pre, like I can't see what I'm jumping to till I'm in the air.
Yeah,
so
1,000,
like,
bro.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, like I'll do like very simple like actual parkour, and then I'll just try to progress in like the free running stuff.
No way.
And then once I started getting good at flips, like flips was what I wanted to do originally anyway. So I was like, all right, well,
I'm doing what I want.
Exactly. I was like, I can twist. Let me see how many of those I can do, like low castaways. And then,
Dog, you know what's crazy is that for the longest time, and you'll recognize his name, Ryan Doyle. Ryan Doyle was like an elite level athlete, first Red Bull sponsored parkour athlete in history. Yeah, won Red Bull Art of Motion, the first one ever. Yeah. My man used to always get hurt. Like, it was a running joke amongst all of us friends, like Ben and Philly D, and they would always be like, you're so good, but like you bail all the time. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're supposed to be elite. We found out he was blind. Like, he could not see.
Really?
He just had LASIK surgery, like maybe like, I want to say 4 years ago or something. Completely changed everything. Like, even just training clips he showed me, I'm like, you can see now. Like, he literally was at the point where, like you were saying, he just couldn't perceive depth and distance very well on pre's and stuff like that.
That's my biggest issue. Like, just like exactly that. That's exactly what it is. You just can't really see the distance until you're coming closer to it in the air. Yes. And at that point, like, you've already put the power into the jump. So it's like, try to adjust as good as you can, but you're not going to land good.
Totally.
Like, I think I remember like doing my first like 2 rail pre's ever, and like I jumped and I was like, dude, what am I? It just looks like a blurry stick,
blurry, right?
Bro.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I jumping to? Like, hit the bar, like rolled over, like onto some resi. I was like, not doing that again. I did it again, bro, and I was like, exact same thing.
Is there a reason why you haven't had contacts? Have you ever tried them before? Or?
Dude, I have. I just suck at taking them out. I guess like more people were bad at putting them in.
Most people can't get them in, bro.
I just can't take them out of my eyes.
Wow. Yeah, which is a frustrating thing because I wear them daily. Like, I'm pretty blind without my contacts. My mom is legally blind, actually.
Really?
So she has like bifocal contacts where she can like zoom and stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but like I'm relatively, like, I can't see well at all. Like, if I was to take mine out, I couldn't see your face. I would just see a blur. I would just see like a blur of color and then like a blue color, and that's all I would see.
That's what it basically is for me. Both my parents got LASIK.
Okay.
My dad got it recently, actually, like 2 years ago, and like he was acting like he was a new person. Like, he was.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone I know is like swears by it.
Yeah, same.
I haven't heard a negative story yet. I'm just worried I'm gonna be that one negative story.
I know, same. Like I remember talking to both my parents about it, and they were like, "It's the best thing I've ever done for myself. Would not do it again." And I'm like, well,
that's what I've heard too, bro. It's because you're like staring at a laser.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, it's just so scary. You're staring at a laser and it's like burning something in your eye. And like, if it goes wrong, that's just like,
you're done.
Yeah, you're got no sight.
Like, and I heard that like technically speaking, like you could like hit your head hard and it could go back too or something like that. Like you could damage it again and then you're screwed.
I remember my dad telling me after he did it, he started looking into something, and there's like a very small percentage of people who like get this ringing in their head that like never goes away. And like some people go like crazy because of it. Like,
contacts it is, dog.
Yeah. Simple enough, easy enough solution to avoid all that.
That is crazy. And so like with that being said, like do your glasses ever hinder you while you're training? Like
I just don't wear them.
I was gonna ask. So you're just out there blind.
Yeah, basically. Because like I just can't see too far,
But you can see stuff close.
Yeah, and like for like stuff like twisting or like with tricking, like for tricking specifically, it's just all pretty close to me. And once you go, like, it's all a blur, It's just feeling.
So it's more muscle memory than spotting.
Well, so I can spot, but like it's just kind of like a blurry spot. But like for like twisting, it's like, okay, well that's the sky, that's the ground.
Okay.
You know, like
you just pick out a major landmark or color.
Color, yeah, exactly.
A color. I feel you, bro. That's how I am on the streets, dog. Like when like if I were to drive without my contacts in, it's like in movies where they purposely blur the focus on a stoplight. Like that's what it's like 24/7. I'm like, bro, it's crazy. I can't see anything. Yeah, that's wild, bro.
It was funny yesterday. We all had like our glasses out, and Z was like putting them like
trying to see.
On. He was like, dude, this is terrible. He was like, you blind fuck.
Dude, that is so funny, bro. Well, you never know, Z. Your eyes could get bad as you get older. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that happened to my dad.
Don't take it for granted.
1000%, bro. And so, like, obviously, like growing up in training and getting the chance to like go to Camp Woodwards and stuff is a pretty unique experience. Like, not everyone gets a chance to do that.
Not at all. Yeah.
Not everyone gets a chance to move out to LA at the age of 18.
Yeah.
How instrumental have your parents been in this process, or have you just been rebellious?
Dude, amazing. Both. Like, both. So they've supported me as long as like we have kind of like a middle ground.
Okay.
Yeah, so as long as we have like a middle ground, it's been like a pretty like equal relationship.
Okay.
And they're the best ever, you know, like they're the best. But it's basically been, so after I graduated high school, okay, wait, let me backtrack.
Yeah, go, dog.
Yeah,
That's
so
what
like
we're here
with,
for.
Yeah,
go back.
With training, they were always like there for it. They were
Okay.
just like, okay, like we know it's not like a conventional sport or anything like that, but like you clearly love it, so we'll support you doing it. And like they did. Like I remember I watched a video called like Hububble 3.
Yep, 100%. It was a jam.
Yeah, found out it was a jam in Boston. Convinced my parents to take me there. Like that's how I met Z, like Sean, like everyone like that.
The old dodo.
Yeah. Like it's fully like, I don't know. My parents played a huge role in like me knowing like my roommates, the people that I like am the best friends with today. Like even me being as good as I am at all, like if they weren't supporting it, I don't know if I would have like kept going, honestly.
Totally.
So once I got like pretty good, I guess, and then like as I got older, once I was 18, they like really wanted me to do like the college thing. So I went to University of Arizona.
Wow. For how long?
Dude, like less than a year. I was there for like a little bit, and I was just like, dude, this is just like, I'm wasting their money. And I was like, this is terrible. Like, I don't know if they like realize that right now, but I was just like, I can't do this. So like I started, like I was like, I'd rather just do like community college for like 2 years, or like just get my associates, or like try to transfer somewhere, like just go work, you know?
Totally.
I was like, this is just, because there's like, I have 4 siblings too. So
Okay.
I was like, they could use it for one of them. Like, I don't know. Like, I know what I love, and like, I feel like I have like a pretty good like setup right now. So, yeah, like it'd be better for them to use that for my other siblings.
It's crazy. It's so unique, man. Like it's honestly like something that I'm kind of jealous of, just like generationally. Like stuff like that didn't really exist as a possibility back in the days.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we have friends like Bailey that make a living doing YouTube.
I know.
It's
Yeah,
like,
that's
that wasn't
what I mean.
possible
Like,
before.
Like that was basically what I convinced like my parents of. Like I dropped out, and I was just like, I'll do community classes, and I have a friend who was making like $60K a month through YouTube at the time.
Yeah.
And he was like, if you just want to come live with me, like perfect. So I like went out there, did that, and then that's how I ended up here. He was like, yo, like, do you just want to come to LA? I was like, yeah. And then was here like the next day. I was like, there's no way.
Crazy, man. That is something that's so crazy, because I had to go the traditional route, especially being in like an Asian household, and I'm the oldest kid.
Did you go
to
college?
I graduated, bro.
Where?
So to be fair, and a lot of people know this, I went to UC Santa Barbara.
Okay.
Back when it was ranked number 2 party school in the country.
Right on.
And I was the president of the biggest fraternity on campus that got kicked off for partying too hard, Sigma Chi.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, I had the best experience of my life. But to be fair, like there were so many times where I was like you, where I was like, what am I doing here? Like I called my mom within the first quarter and was like, Mom, like, I'm not meant to be here.
Yeah.
I totally know that I need to do this just to have a backup plan, but I'm like, I don't want to keep going to class. And like, dude, she knew very early on that I was just partying my ass off. I was working. I had a bunch of jobs full time, and it was more like a life experience.
That was basically like the same boat I was in, and I was just like, dude, if I stay here, I'm just gonna get like addicted to coke or like get an STD. And I was like, I'm good on this. Like, I don't need this in my life at all.
It's crazy. The only positive that I will say that I got out of college is that I got all of that partying out of my system, so much so that like right now I could focus on work.
Yeah.
Because I don't really have a desire to do that because I wilded out. Like I got it out of my system, for lack of a better term. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's like the only positive that I got. But like I said, I'm so jealous in so many ways because it's 5 years that I could have been in LA pursuing my career. And doing movies that like I missed out on that all my friends did, you know, and I'm like, damn, I wish it was back. So
yeah, nah, it's been good though, because my parents are just kind of like I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. They'll support anything I do as long as there's compromise. So like the compromise right now is that I am still in school, you know.
Okay, so you're doing online stuff? Or?
Yeah, so I just do online classes right now through like Santa Monica College.
Okay.
And that's great, you know, now because I do all of my classes like in the morning during like the week, and then I have the rest of like the full day every day to like do exactly what I want.
1,000.
And it works out, you know.
Yeah, man. No, 1,000.
And it's nice too, because like the longer I've been out here, the more like I've been able to like start like figuring my own life out and like making like a little more money and stuff. So like I've been able to just support myself more, you know. And kind of like get away from that, because like as nice as it is, like. Yeah, I'd like to be independent as soon as possible.
100%. Yeah, you don't want to be like relying upon your family for too long. Yeah.
Yeah, especially when like I'm not doing exactly what they want me to do.
Yeah.
You know? Like it's one thing if like I'm just like fucking around, but like I'm in like an actual college doing exactly what they want. I'm just taking classes online and they'll let me do what I want, and then I just got to make money too, you know? And it works out.
I totally understand. Like that was my thing, was like I was going to college knowing I didn't want to be there. So what I did was I got a bunch of full-time jobs to just start making money, to just pay for my lifestyle, start to pay off my student loans on my own, to just be like, all right, I'm going to start having control of my own stuff. So yeah, I totally get it, man. It's just.
That's like exactly where I am right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
1,000%. No, that's super cool. And so like, I mean, we have to ask a few of these questions because I feel like people online would kill me if I didn't. So what is the origin of Roloflow?
Dude, it was literally like I was on FaceTime with my friend Solomon.
Yeah. He
was Soloflow for some reason. I don't know.
Okay.
And like we were joking around, just like picking different usernames. Like I made a bunch of dumb ones, bro.
Okay.
Like cause at the time Sean's was like Sean Batista with like 6 A's.
Yeah.
So like we all made ours with like 1 extra A, like Sean Batista, like just like we were just being dumb. And so he was like, dude, like fuck it, like Roloflow 8 and like Soloflow 7. I was like, dude, whatever, like changed it, and then like it just stuck. Like I remember I tried to change it back, and like I just got a bunch of comments like, yo, like what are you doing? I was like all right, fuck it. I was like, just leave it like this then.
No
like,
way.
It's been that for like years now. Like,
hilarious.
years. And then like after a couple months of it, then like a bunch of random ones started showing up. So like we were really good friends with James.
Yes.
So, like he just made like his like second account. So he had like James Northeast.
Northeast.
Yeah, and he just posted like tricking stuff there, but like more like edits kinda. And then he posted on YOLOflow as like a daily account.
Yes.
And now YOLOflow is just like the only
his
one.
Primary one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That is so funny.
But like a bunch of random people started making them. Like I remember there was like a Matolo flow, like 9, like a Tolo flow, like 10. Like there was just a bunch of random ones.
It's so funny how things like that can just kind of take off. Like right now, the big thing in tricking is BBB. That's everywhere right now.
What even is that?
So it stands for Bing Bang Baby. And funny enough, it's from Boston as well, from a tricker named Samuel Lincoln. And he said, we had him on the JAMCast. He explained some other guy, I guess, said it at a gathering to him. And then he like looked at some guy and was like, yeah, 4 words, Bing Bang Baby. And so like that's their slogan. It's like
that's
4
sick.
words. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it get added to like the end of like more trickers like tags like gradually like over the past couple months.
And what he said was like he always just wanted to be a part of something bigger than himself. And so he was like, it's really cool that we just have this open-ended thing that anyone can just kind of add on. It's not like you have to be a part of the team. You don't have to be a member. It's just like you can just kind of be a part of the clique.
If you just want to do it.
Yeah.
You just can. That's what I love about tricking, dude. It's like the most inclusive sport of all time. Like
100%.
No one gets like discluded, you know?
Unless
like,
you're an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They don't really fuck with assholes. But no one in the community is really like that big of an asshole, you know?
It's
like,
a rarity.
Like I've seen people get as stoked on seeing someone's like first backflip as seeing like a dub trip, you know?
Yeah.
It's just because like they know the process, like the learning process.
Yeah, no, 1,000%.
Everyone's there to support it. It's sick.
I feel like it's just because our sport is so young and so new, it's easy for us to associate with other people and just kind of understand the journey they're going through, and that it's not always respected or heralded as the coolest thing by people. So yeah, a lot of respect to the kids that are doing it and stuff like that.
That's
Oh no, go bro, go.
I was gonna say that's just what's nice about being out here too is there's so many people training, you know. So like the Sunday sessions, there's just mad people. Like I don't know, LA has a big community to train with.
Totally.
And it's nice out here.
We're definitely spoiled in so many ways. Like not only do we have access to so many talented people, we have access to some amazing gyms from like, you know, Tempest is out here, you know, so we got multiple Tempests in the States.
Dude,
yeah.
Like,
we got so many gyms. And then plus not only that, we're spoiled with great weather year round.
Yeah.
Like I look at the guys in Europe and I'm like, they go hard because they only have like 3 months of sun.
Yeah, exactly. They can only train really hard for like 3 months, and then the rest of the year they're chilling.
Right now it's November, and yesterday it was 91 degrees here in LA.
Made no sense to me.
Like,
it was so funny because like we were all like sitting in our yard, and I forget who it was. Gavin, I think, said something about it being winter, and me and Z were like, "Dude, what winter?"
Yeah.
Like from being from the East Coast, like winter is like you wake up and it's just pure white outside, you know? Like winter here is like it just gets dark a little earlier. It's still 90 out, you know?
I've lived here my whole life, and it's only snowed in LA one day in my entire lifetime.
I remember that, right? And it didn't even snow like an inch.
It was
just
like
little,
tiny, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's tiny. But what's even crazier though is that like, yeah, I mean, it is barely snow, but I used to tell people all the time, like in LA we have summer and not really summer. But
Yeah,
that's the only
what it
seasons
is.
we
Yeah,
have.
it's not really winter.
We don't have winter.
Yeah.
We don't really have spring. We have like it's almost summer.
Yeah, like
we
we're
have
almost back to summer, but yeah, that's like always what it is.
Yeah.
It's funny because I remember before I lived here, I was like, dude, like if I live in LA, I'm gonna train like every day. You know, like there's so many spots. Like
1,000.
I'm just gonna go everywhere and just like nonstop train. And like when I got out here, that was exactly what I did.
Totally.
Like a couple months, you know. But I feel like after a point, you're like, all right, like now all the spots are local. Like I'll go like a couple times a week, you know,
Totally.
no reason to go crazy about it.
Unless you're Bailey.
Exactly, unless you're Bailey.
Unless you're
Bailey
Bailey.
actually does that shit.
My
It's
man's
nuts.
out every day training.
It's crazy. Dude, double cork pre. It's not okay.
It's crazy. And so, like, I feel like along the lines of Roloflow, one of the things that you've obviously been known for throughout the duration of your career has got to be the hair, bro.
Yeah.
And so, like, I feel like just for the JAMCast listeners out there, we should just talk about it just briefly, just to kind of
100%.
just put it out there and let people know. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got a disease called alopecia when I was like 9, bro,
Okay.
maybe something like that. Like I was pretty young. I was in like the 3rd or 4th grade.
Okay.
And alopecia is just basically your hair falls out in like patches, or there's different types. Mine, I had alopecia areata, so it would fall out in like spots.
Okay.
And then around like 5th grade, I was like, dude, this looks ridiculous, because I had like 2 spots of hair left, bro. Like it looked like it looked so stupid. And then I remember I saw like a Damian Walter showreel, bro.
Yes.
I was like, this is sick. I was like, this is a rad ass bald person. Like I'm gonna just get rid of the 2 little patches. Like got rid of them, and then my hair never grew back.
No way.
Yeah. So I was just like, all right. And like once I got rid of it, I was like, all right, this looks better than like having like fucking like little patches sticking out, you know?
Yeah.
I was just like a little kid, so I was like worried about it.
Of course. Yeah. You're hanging on to what you had
Exactly.
left.
Dude, yeah. But I don't know.
And so do you know what caused it, or what the onset of it is caused by? Or is it a genetic thing?
It's an autoimmune disorder.
Wow. Okay.
I know like there's a bunch of different kinds of like autoimmune diseases that are like in my family.
Yeah.
So I might have just got this one somehow.
Wow. Okay.
But it really, the only thing it does is make my hair fall out, which like, I mean, if you had like a shitty shaped head, that would be kind of terrible.
Totally.
Like, I don't know. My shit's pretty round.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then like, it's just convenient, bro. Like I'm like waterproof basically.
Yes.
Like, I swear to God, like I get out of like a shower, the pool
You're like,
dry
chilling.
in half a second. Like
No
it's just
way.
kind of nice, bro.
That is true.
Yeah.
I never even thought about that, bro.
Once
That's funny.
once you get like comfortable about being bald, which I did when I was like 9 or like 10, it's just like way more convenient.
1,000%. Was there? And what's crazy is that like you're not the first athlete that has had alopecia in the movement
Kerwood's
world.
got it, bro.
Alex Kerwood from Colorado tricking scene, an old school tricker, one of the pioneers, Arnold Chan.
No way.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Arnold
that.
Arnold Chan be rocking it too, man.
That's sick.
Yeah, and it actually favored and helped his career out in a lot of ways because he had such a unique look. When he came out here, he was just like, everyone's like, who is this like monk looking dude that's doing flips and stuff? You know what I'm saying? And so it catered really well to his style. So
Yeah, it's sick.
yeah, it's very interesting. So I was just curious if you like had ever talked to those guys like along the course of your career, or if you just
I mean, I've talked to Kerwood a lot,
Okay.
like a good amount. I haven't talked to
Arnold.
I
Yeah,
haven't talked to Arnold about it at all.
yeah, he's old school. Like he's older than me, bro.
Yeah,
So like, yeah, he's a generation or two above you. So
Yeah, no, I haven't talked to him, but like I feel like any other athlete that has it, I've basically talked to. Dude, it was funny. Some kid DM'd me and he was like, "Yo, like I'm gonna shave my head for you, bro." And I like DM'd him back. I was like, "Yo, like I don't know if that's a good idea. Dude. And then he sent me the funniest video back of him just like fully shaved, bro, like gone. Like he did it. He was like, bro, my girlfriend's pissed, but like, I was like, no way, dude.
For the culture, though.
Yeah, for the culture.
For the culture.
Some little like 15-year-old who was just down. I was like, I love this kid,
dude.
bro.
That is so amazing to see, dog.
It was so funny.
100%. And obviously, it's not something that defines you, but it's obviously like a part of you. And I feel like people have always just wanted to know.
Dude,
so
it's definitely a part of me. Like it's funny because as I've gotten older, it actually like starts to grow more. So like
really,
yeah, dude.
Oh,
so
crazy.
like now I gotta like
you actually have to touch it up and stuff.
Yeah, like I'll like shave like every like couple days now or like once a week.
Crazy.
But yeah, it's just funny because I feel like it might just start growing more. But
imagine
like, if it really did though, like I think I'd just get rid of it. You know,
just because you're used to it at this point.
Yeah, like it's easier.
It's aerodynamic as
exactly, well. Exactly, swim nice. You know,
exactly. Just cutting through, bro. Yeah. Cutting through. That's super funny, man. And so obviously, with having come out here to LA, you're very closely associated and a member of Riskhouse with some of our favorite athletes that are a part of the JAMCast and Jam Breakdown regularly. So obviously, you've kind of talked about how you met these guys over the course of time as a younger kid. How did you get reconnected as an adult and make the decision to move out here?
That was just kind of like they all already lived out here, and so when I came out here, they were just the people that I wanted to see because like we were already pretty close from just kind of like growing up. And that was around the time that they got the house in Riverside.
The original one.
Yeah.
The first one,
So I had like an apartment in Hermosa Beach, and I was just going from there to Riverside.
Wow.
I would spend like weeks at a time there, and then around the time like they were looking for like a new house, Eric was trying to move out, and they were like, yo, like, would you want to just move in? I was like, this sounds perfect. You know?
Yeah. You're like, I know all these guys. I'm here anyways.
Exactly, yeah. I was like, I'm already always here. Like,
it's like when Pasha was roommates with Bailey, and I go to Bailey's house. I'm like, where's Pasha? He's like, Riverside. I'm like, why the hell does he pay for a room here, bro?
Exactly.
This fool's paying full rent. He's never here.
Yeah, that's exactly how it was. Okay. Like, that's how it was for a lot of the people at that house, though. Cause the original, like, I think the only people that paid rent there were like Z, Mike, and Tanner.
Yeah.
That was it, dude.
So.
And there were like 9 people living there.
Dom was
like
in the van.
Floor.
Eric's couch surfing. Pasha's just floating around.
Yeah, exactly. And then like a lot of the time we just have like extra guests there. So it'd just be like me, Korn, Natsuki, like everyone's just on the floor on like pads. It was
1,000.
It was fun though. That house is like so legendary.
So many memories, so much content created at one spot. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So where are you guys located right now? I know most recently you guys just kind of relocated.
Yeah. So we're in North Hills right now. Okay. So after we were living in Manhattan, it took way longer than we thought to find a house.
Yeah.
So like, dude, we were homeless for like months, bro. It was terrible.
And what happened with that situation? I haven't had any of the boys on to really talk about that situation.
Yeah, it was basically just, we had like a shitty neighbor. And so like, at the Riverside house, we were free to do exactly what we wanted because we were just in Riverside, you know what I mean? Like, our neighbors were chill with it. We could jump off our roofs, like, light shit on fire, like, have a couch on the roof, do it.
909 life, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
It's different out there.
And then living in Manhattan, like, there were just a bunch of, like, successful doctors as our neighbors and shit, and they just hated us.
They worked hard to
get
a house that's quiet.
Exactly. And now there's just, like, some kids there. And then, like, despite, like, other than that, too, like, other than the house being really nice, the yard itself wasn't like anything great to like for training wise.
Yeah, it was kind of a smaller yard.
Yeah, exactly. And so like we couldn't really like train too much like there, so we'd just always be leaving. And then dude, there were like hella termites at the crib, bro. Like bad. So like we were just trying to get out of the lease basically. And then after we broke the lease and like they resold the house, we were trying to find a new house, and we thought it would be pretty easy, and it was not easy, dude. We were because after we talked to the fuck, I'm trying to think who like owns the house.
The owner of the house.
The owner of the house. After they like put it back on market, we thought it would be like maybe like a month before they got like anyone, and then like we'd have like another month after that to like move
close.
Out. Exactly. Yeah. And it was basically just like 3 weeks, I think. It was like from like after we like talked to them, it was like someone got it and they were like, yo, you have like 3 weeks basically.
Get out.
Yeah, exactly. So we moved out, and then we're just like hotel hopping for months, bro. Like it was right around when like summer started. So we were like, all right, I mean, we can just travel and just like do this for a while, but we gotta find a house. And then by the end of summer, it was just like terrible. We were like, dude, how is like there no houses? Like,
it's because the housing market went crazy during COVID. Yeah. People started buying houses out of nowhere,
and no one wanted to give them to like 5 like
young
20-year-old dudes with like weird sources of income, like that aren't just like doctors or something.
Yeah, 1000%.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's super crazy. I think the one thing that was cool though was that because you guys didn't have a home base, it really lent itself to putting you guys on the road and getting to take a bunch of trips to Mexico, to Utah, like all over.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Of stuff. It was fun.
Yeah.
Now the house is it's in North Hills, and it's like it's way smaller, but we have a way better like training setup.
Okay.
So like, I think all of us are like way happier there. We just get to do way more than we like normally would.
And who's at this one now?
It's me, Z, Gavin, Landon, and Dom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Dom's just back in Oregon right now.
Yeah, I heard he's healing up right now.
Yeah, he's just fixing his health right now.
Yeah,
He'll be
1000%.
back. I think he's coming back in a couple days. So.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, finally.
It's been months.
Yeah, it has, dude. It's been a couple months.
That is crazy. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, man. And so obviously, like along the lines of the Riskhouse and stuff like that collectively, you guys have any plans for the future right now, or everyone just kind of doing their own individual thing?
Yeah, so right now it's more like everyone's just doing like our own individual thing, and we're just all like living in the house together. Like the 4 months of homelessness did like take a toll on us, bro, because it was way more expensive than having a house.
Like,
like
hopping around the hotels is crazy.
Like not having a fridge, bro, the worst. Like just paying for food every day, and then like hotels too is just ridiculous. So
crazy.
So right now like everyone's just kind of doing their own thing, and we're just happy to like be living together again, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I occasionally will like go over to the page and see if there's anything new and stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
not yet, but there will be soon.
Okay. Hell yeah. I know one of the things that they most recently got to do was I saw clips of Z and them doing this crazy bungee jump thing.
Dude, yeah, the rope swing.
Dog, the rope swing.
Dude,
so
it's funny because I set that up and I didn't do it.
I was gonna ask you. So,
do it,
all right.
bro.
So I just wanted to ask you, like, what happened when you're out there? Was it just too daunting? Like, was it?
Dude, it was like for me personally, bro. I could talk about this forever.
Yeah.
This shit was crazy. So I'm friends with a kid named Ian who like, flies drones and like speed flies. So like, he does like a lot of like stuff with parachutes. And I saw him post like a smaller rope swing, and like I swiped up on his story or something. I was like, yo, this looks crazy. He was like, he just responded. He was like, yo, like, would love to have you and like whoever else that like you want to bring out, and like we can set up like this swing and another one, and like we'll just have a great time. And I was like, dude, this sounds awesome.
Yeah,
like, the way you made it sound seems so chill. So I was like, dude, I'll just like go with all the roommates. We'll just have like a good time, like a little Riskhouse mission.
Yeah, a little couple day trip.
And so like we get out there, bro, and I'm like realizing that the people setting it up, like I've never met before, and like I don't know what their experience with this is.
Yeah, it's brand new.
So I was like, okay, I know I want to do it, but like I gotta talk to them and like ask them a lot of questions, because like I don't know shit about this.
Yeah.
So like we get there and I'm like asking them random stuff. I'm like, yo, so like how long like have you guys been doing this? Like how long, like how many of these have you like set up before? They're like, this is our like first one. Like I was like, dude, no way. So like they've like, dude, it was either their first or their like second high line or like rope swing they've ever set up. They've set up like high lines before.
Totally.
Basically, it's a slack line.
Yes.
And then I mean, you know how the high lines are, right?
Yeah.
So they like are harnessed in and they have the leash. The way that they view it is it's just a high line with like an extended leash.
Okay.
So like it's just the leash is extended.
Just
like,
a longer leash.
Just like 80 meters instead of 3 feet.
I got
and
you.
And so it just acts like a pendulum on the line.
Yeah, 100%.
So
yeah.
When you look at everything like that they have like backing it up, I think like the safety ratio is like 10-1.
Yeah,
like, it seems
which is pretty
like,
good.
Yeah, it seems like really safe. But like it just felt weird, bro. I knew I was gonna be like scared shitless, but like I just couldn't do it, bro.
It's a tough one, man. It's like there's times when I get on sets where they ask me to do some wire gags like on the top of a 10, 20-story building, and you're like, God damn, I have to trust the equipment and the people setting this up right now.
Dude, it's funny because one of the guys, Hayes, he was trying to make me feel like better about it, and he was like, he like asked me, he was like, do you do stunts for movies?
Yeah,
like, do you want to? He was like, a lot of it is like wire work, and like this is like pretty similar. Like, I wanted to ask you if you had like any like experience with like.
So let me tell you this.
Wires.
3 out of the 4 times I've gone to the hospital in the ER, I was doing wire work.
Really?
Yeah, on set. Some of it was user error, some of it was the system error, and some of it was the guys that setting up their error. And so like I totally understand the hesitancy with that, because you're literally putting your life in the hands of people setting it up. You're also putting your hands in the life of equipment that you hope doesn't fail.
Exactly.
Which is a scary thing, because, bro, I've been on the tops of buildings dropping 100, 200 feet, and I look up, and I'm hanging on by a cable that's thinner than my finger. And I'm like, bruh,
Yeah, this is scary.
Like, I know in theory this is gonna work, but yeah, like there's always just the fear in the back of my head that like, what if this cable snaps? What if the guy just didn't tighten the line down? What if he didn't anchor it in hard enough right now?
Dude, it's funny because I like while I was out there, I was like talking to like random people to see if I could like make myself feel a little better about like trying to do it or anything. And I talked to like you know Sheb's movement.
Yeah,
Sheb?
of course.
Dude, so I'm on the phone with Sheb talking.
Sebastian
to him.
White.
Dude, yeah, Sebastian, and he just starts laughing, bro. And he goes, "Dude, honestly, at the end of the day, ropes break." He was like, "You don't need to do this, dude." I was like, "You're right. Fuck
At the
this."
end of the day, ropes
I was like, "You're so right."
Hella good,
I was like,
bro.
"There's no reason for me to jump right now."
Yeah.
It's just different because like I remember thinking I was like, "Dude, it'll be like skydiving, just cooler."
Yeah,
Like I get to like it's more like free fall than like just like the wind hitting you.
But you have a parachute as an out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like, dude, also when you're jumping out of a plane, like you're just so high it looks fake.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
with that, you can see like the rock on the ground that you would hit.
Oh,
Like,
totally.
It was, dude. Yeah.
It's a mental thing. That's half the mental game on doing wire gags is that when you're doing them, you're generally speaking, you're like, oh, I'm over concrete right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm not over a pool. Like I'm not over the ocean. You know.
And I never knew that like gear fear was such a thing.
It's a thing, bro.
Dude, I hate gear.
It's a thing, dude.
Like I didn't know that, but like I've never had to put my life in like the faith of gear and strangers like that.
Yeah.
And like I wasn't ready to do that shit.
And here's the thing that I have to be really honest about is I've been very fortunate in my career that I have worked with some of the best rigging teams in the world. But like I said, I've worked on a couple projects where I've been injured very bad, like really, really bad. I almost got paralyzed on one. I went numb head to toe for 30 minutes on a wire gag gone wrong. I had another one where my head got split open.
What happened?
On that one, it was error on behalf of the guys running the rig. They basically put me on a line. I was on a ratchet, which is basically putting you up to a high pressurized thing where you can adjust the PSI. And they basically put you on a line and they hit a button and the PSI uses a pressure to just launch you and send you, you know? I flew like 30 feet. So I went from that door, like I was standing there, I flew all the way back to that wall and I was supposed to land on my back and roll out. And they usually release your line because the line's behind you. So it'll get loose so you could roll. Okay. They didn't release my line. So I went 30 feet backwards, landed straight on my neck onto my line. It was like hitting a brick wall at full speed for 30 feet.
That's terrible.
Totally compressed my neck.
That's so bad.
Went numb head to toe. But yeah, it's just something that happens. Like even just most recently on the last Fast and Furious, there was a guy who was doing a jump and I'm not going to misspeak because I wasn't there, but from what we've read in the news reports, a guy jumped and was doing a gag and his quick release ring basically opened and he free fell to the ground. Damn.
Yeah. So that's like all that was going through my head.
100%,
like,
bro.
I know I was because dude, I saw a bunch of people jump.
Totally.
Like,
so you've seen the model,
jump, you know?
but
so
at
I was
the
like,
same
I know
time.
it works, but I was like, does that mean like it works when I do it? And
It's just like the Lasik surgery, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It could be that one dude.
Yeah.
That's that statistic, you know?
Exactly. And like, it was crazy though, because like, I know that like my roommates have never done anything like that.
Yeah.
And like, I swear it was like watching them like become men, bro. Like for Landon, dude, like Landon overcame some shit, bro.
Dude, I can imagine,
and
bro.
he did it. He like, dude, his first double gainer was off a
a
500-foot
cliff,
cliff. Like,
I know.
that is nuts.
Nutter, dude. That is crazy. Do you think you would ever do it if you had the opportunity to go back again?
Dude, so like, I remember being there and they were like, dude, like we drove out here, like you set this whole thing up, like you're like how are you not gonna do it? And I was like, dude, I've thought about it, and like honestly, at this point in my life, I don't regret anything.
Yeah.
And like I'll let this be the one.
Okay.
And, like,
yeah.
And like right now, like I regret it a little, bro. I regret not jumping a little. So I don't know. I guess we'll see like how I feel in the future. If I really do start to regret it, I feel like I'll have to do it.
Totally.
Or like it wasn't that it was just like scary, bro. It just like didn't feel right. So I was just like,
you got to trust your gut sometimes, bro.
Literally, that's
gotta,
all. Like that's how I was like raised. It's just
yeah.
like if it feels wrong, like,
100%. The times that I've questioned my gut feeling, I usually get hurt. Or and then the times where I do trust my gut, I just get this sense of calmness.
That's like literally like what it was. Like once I was like, okay, like you know what, I'm not gonna jump. Like everything like went away, and like I knew that like, dude, it was I don't know. It was just that whole trip was nuts. Like
you just got like you said, sometimes you got to just trust that inner voice because it's there for a reason. A month ago, I was supposed to get on a plane, and I literally was on the way to the airport. And something just kept telling me like, "Don't get on this plane, bro. Like, don't take this trip for some reason." And I don't know what it was, bro.
Sometimes that just happens, and you just gotta trust.
I've flown hundreds of times and thousands of times, and I just literally drove home. But like, I just had this sense of peace, like. you're not going to regret that you listened to yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you would regret it if something horrible happened and you went.
Exactly.
So.
That's like, I don't know. It's a big like lesson. It's just like, if you feel a certain way about something, just like stick to that. Like, there's no reason to like get hurt over some dumb shit.
Yeah.
And, like, especially with like tricks or certain things like that, like you can always go back to it. Like I was picturing it like the biggest, like me trying like dub on a day where like I don't feel good, and it's like, oh, I should come back to this like, a different session. I was just like, dude, doesn't feel right now. Like I know this opportunity can be a thing again, so I'll just leave it alone and like see what happens.
1,000.
But yeah, dude, I know like Z, Gavin, Landon, all of them are gonna like put way more footage out from that like trip in like the next like week. This shit's crazy, bro. Like, it was not okay. Yeah,
wild, dog. Yeah. Wild. Okay. Well, yeah, no, I'm interested to see you, man. Super, super cool. And so, like, along the lines of where you're at right now, like, what is the ultimate goal with where you're at here in Los Angeles? Obviously, you're still doing online school and stuff like that. But
even. Like, that's like the one I was trying to think about before I even got here. I was like, dude, like, I really don't know what I'm trying to do, like, long term.
Okay.
Right now, you know Mike, how he runs like Slay?
Yeah.
So I've just been helping him with like managerial work for athletes specifically. So just like all extreme sports athletes, like parkour athletes, surfers, anything that has to do with extreme sports, like me and him just try to bring them work, and that's like what I'm doing right now.
Nice.
It seems cool because it seems scalable as well. So it seems like something that like we could build over like the next like couple years. But aside from that, I don't know if I want to do that forever. You know, I've thought about stunt work. I also, like, that's something I would love to talk to you about. I know I need, like, my SAG card. I don't know how any of that shit works, bro.
Doug.
So, I don't know. You're a good person to learn from in that aspect. But, yeah, long term, I'm not really too sure.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense, though. At the same time, I feel like you're in your college years right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're in those years where, like, people figure things out. You know, and
that's how it feels, man. It feels like I'm figuring life out right now.
This is the time to like make mistakes and take chances and bet on yourself and fuck up along the way, you know. But like, yeah, it'll all just be a part of the journey for sure. So, hell yeah, man. And so, with that being said, how often are you training these days?
A couple times a week.
Okay.
Yeah. Recently we've been training like more often. We've just been inspired by like a lot of like the stuff being put out. The Modus movie was unreal.
It was really cool.
Yeah. So that had like everyone at the house just stoked to train.
Okay.
So we've been out like a couple times a week recently. Before that, we were just like tired from like needing to look at houses every day, and it was just annoying, bro. But yeah, now we're kind of back on it. It's nice. It feels like the old days of training where we just go out and like sesh for like a couple hours and then come home.
Yeah.
It's nice.
1,000. And so who do you watch personally, or if there is anyone that you watch?
Recently a lot of Nico Flow. I just love the mix of tricking with free running.
Totally.
The way he combines the two. Like you were saying, Archie, unreal. Verky again, bro.
Yes,
Verky's crazy.
Obviously.
I'm trying to think. Ellis, like we were saying.
Yeah.
I wish I knew his name. There's one athlete that I know Team Farang posted them. He does crazy wall tricks. I think
is
he lives
he Asian?
in Japan. Yeah.
Yeah, the JBPK Ryu.
Yeah, just a crazy long name.
JBPK Ryu drew
been
something.
Watching a lot of him, dude. He's crazy. And then, do you know Denali?
I know the name. Yeah. Okay.
He posted yesterday. He did like ill gainer, like Cork Zero. Like he just be doing weird shit. Yeah.
Dude, the level is getting crazy. We're getting to that point right now where things that you thought were like first in the world are happening, but then a week later someone's like, oh, I got that though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I remember a time when there was like, oh wow, like Aaron Cook did standing dub back.
Dude, now there's one new one every week.
Yeah, I mean James is just doing them every city he goes to.
Yeah.
James
did you see him do it in that little box?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was there. I was on the grass, right? Yeah. I was there with Bailey at Vertigo.
Yeah, sick, dude.
It was he literally did one, ate crap, then walked over and was like, I need chalk. Put chalk on his hands and his knees, and then just ripped it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What the hell, dog?
And then, do you know Jaden Harris?
Yeah, of course. Jaden Harris won. Yeah,
bro, that's unreal.
Yeah,
that kid's a monster.
You saw someone just did Kong Front at IMAX that Dom did.
Yeah, I saw that too.
What the hell, dog?
I swear, anytime someone like does something and like pushes the bar, it just shows everyone else that it's like doable.
It's possible.
So then way more people get it, and then the bar just gets pushed further. And I feel like we're at like the peak of that right now in the sport. Like it just gets pushed further daily.
100%.
So it's so sick.
We're living in such a cool time. I'm very thankful. I'm thankful that I was old enough that I got to see the origins of it, and I got to see the old gen stars, like the guys like you talked about that went to Woodward. Like that, there were personalities back then from the Live Wire. You know what I'm saying?
What was like the MTV show?
The MTV's Ultimate Parkour Challenge. That I hosted. It was crazy.
I grew up
bro.
watching that, bro. I remember Googling like once I showed up at the gym where I was like doing backflips and Bugboy was like, "You do parkour." When I Googled it, I found that show. And so
it's so
like,
funny.
all right, like I gotta watch all this. I remember like the Western training area was like my favorite one.
Melody, I actually was just there last week for another TV show, really? Melody Ranch. That's
so
it's
sick.
Pretty funny. And it's funny. It's kind of funny you said you Googled it because Jimmy the Giant, you know, the parkour documentary guy. He put out a video about MTV's Parkour Challenge, and to this day, during that time the show was released, is the highest search trend results for parkour in history still.
Really?
Is back then during
That's
that show.
Wild.
Yeah, because it was just on TV, you know, and it was in everyone's faces for the first time. So
that's crazy.
It's crazy, dog.
I never knew the show did that good.
It didn't do good. Full transparency, we were supposed to have 12 episodes. We got canceled halfway through.
Really? Okay.
And the reason why we got canceled, in my opinion, is because the guys were not ready to be personalities on camera.
Okay.
So they flew out like the top athletes in the world, but like Oleg barely spoke English. Ben was a young kid that didn't want to talk really. And so they just didn't.
Makes sense.
Yeah, no one was vlogging back then. No one was like personality wise. Like if they had a show like that now, it would take off because so many guys are used to it being in front of the camera, in front of their own camera and vlogs.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We also did the show live, which is nerve-wracking as hell.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like you're nervous about messing up your run, so guys weren't taking big risks.
I remember them competing in the mall.
Yeah.
Right?
So
like,
luckily those we started.
Like audience.
Yeah. So we literally started with doing live episodes the first 3, and we started to realize it was too much pressure on the guys that they didn't want to take risks because like who wants to fall live?
Yeah.
So then we were like, let's go to a taped format, and that's when guys started getting a little bit better about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish we had that show this day and age. It would take off right now in 2020 if we had,
cool
you know.
To just like I'm trying to think of a way to do something similar to that, like without making it a TV show. But, and it's just like an online comp.
I've been working on talking to some guys about some possible things, but
right on.
I don't know. It's really hard to pull things off sometimes. But yeah, we'll see. We have some ideas I'll tell you about. So
that'd be really sick.
See if we can pull it off. Hell yeah. So, with that being said, man, like obviously you're out here, you're doing your thing, you're working with Riskhouse and stuff like that. In an ideal world, do you think LA will be the place that you live forever?
No.
Okay.
No, probably not.
Okay.
Like when I was younger, I thought it would. After being here for like close to 2 years, I know it's probably not.
Okay.
Just because like I go visit certain places and I'm like, dude, this is way better. Like I love NorCal, bro. Like Lake Tahoe area.
Oh,
like, I
wow.
would love to like live there.
No way. Okay.
And then like the more time I spend in Utah too, or like Colorado, like I just love those areas.
There's a lot to see. Like a lot of people don't realize all that exists out there because you have the city, but then you have all this nature and rocks and
exactly.
openness,
And like growing up, dude, I thought I just hated like
you're from New York, right?
Yeah. But like New York doesn't have the good like mountains to ski on, so it's just like cold and windy.
Yeah.
And so I just thought I hated like the cold and the snow, and then I started like skiing a little bit in just like Colorado, like Utah, and then like Northern California a bit. And I'm like, dude, snow's awesime.
Yeah,
like, this is great. Snow's fun when you can do something in
totally.
it. Like, it just sucks when there's like, you got to shovel your driveway for 2 hours before you go anywhere. Like,
100%.
do shit like that.
I'm much more of a fan of visiting it than living in it. So,
yeah. I definitely am too. Like, having perfect weather all the time is amazing.
Yeah.
But I just feel like here's a good place to just like establish something, make a lot of good connections, and just like, especially for what I'm doing right now, like it's all based out of here.
Yeah, totally.
So it makes sense for like right now, but I don't think long term I'll be like living in LA.
Yeah, it's good for the connections and like having the ability to get to events right away.
And
or
like all
things,
my friends are here, you know?
Yeah.
So like that's the best part, honestly.
But eventually, like once you set yourself up, you can move. Like, for example, Carter at Team RAR, he just moved. He's got a house in North Carolina. He's about to move ship, and it's like.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, his property in North Carolina looks crazy.
It's crazy.
It's like
My dude
100
got a
acres,
lake,
bro.
bro.
Yeah,
You got a lake with bridges. Yeah. You got bridges you can drive under on a jet ski.
It makes no sense.
But yeah, that is cool. That would definitely be the goal. Even for me, as I get older, I'm looking at like where I want to end up in the world.
Where are you thinking?
I don't know. Maybe not LA. Although every time I leave here for an extended period of time and I come back, I'm like, it's one of the few places that within an hour I could drive to the beach. I could drive to the snow. I could drive to like some of the most elite training areas.
That is like a great way to put it, because when you're spending all your time here, you just kind of start to take it for granted, and then you see other places that are like really amazing. But yeah, like when I'm like away all summer and then I come back here, when I get back, I'm just like, like
this is slapping.
Like, this is great, dude. Like
1,000.
It is just a really like pretty perfect place, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
there's some perks to it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's wild, man. So, yo, with that being said, obviously you don't really know what you got going on. So this question is going to be an open-ended one. So we'll see if you even have an answer. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? And then where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
5 years? I don't know, dude. Hopefully just like training and healthy. Like, yeah, mainly just healthy, bro. Yeah. I want to progress in like a lot of other random extreme sports, bro. So like I want to get better at like skiing and snowboarding.
Okay.
I want to get into paragliding a little bit. I feel like paragliding's pretty chill, you know.
Maybe,
yeah. I don't really know.
It looks chill, but
I don't
maybe
really
not,
know yet. Yeah, but we'll see. So like, I don't know. Over the next couple of years, that's like definitely something that I kind of want to focus on more, just for myself. I think it'd just be really fun.
Dope.
And then other than that, like still just working. The company Mike owns, like the management company, is called Slay. If we can make like a Slay Sports branch and then start like maybe signing athletes, that'd be really cool. And just see if I can scale that. And then, that'd be kind of awesome. 10 years out, I have no clue. I barely know what I'm doing this week.
Yeah,
you know.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that too, man. We get so many answers on here, and some people live in the present more so, and some we've had guys come on here and pull out a list and have it detailed out to the year.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's crazy. So.
Yeah, I mean, I know what I really don't know what I'm doing. I was about to say like I feel like I kind of do, but I don't know. That's like I'm at the point in my life, like you said, where I'm kind of just figuring stuff out, you know? So
1,000%, dog. Nothing wrong with that at all. It's all just part of the journey. So
yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's a fun journey.
Yeah, dog. So, yo, before we get out of here, can you just look in this camera and let people know where they can continue to follow you and stay up to date with your journey?
Yeah. My social media on everything is just at Roloflow8. Yeah. Find me on everything with that. That's basically it.
Yo, guys, please be sure to hit that like button, comment, subscribe for brand new episodes each and every week. Join us every Monday for Jam Breakdowns and every Friday for brand new JAMCast, interviewing influential members of the movement community like Mr. Richie Mannarino himself. So with that being said, guys, I got to give it one more very special shout out. Thanks for coming through, man. I really appreciate it.
Of course, dude. Thank you for having me. It's been a great time.
Hell yeah, dog. And as always, guys, coming through, I'm your host, Travis Wong. Thanks for joining us here on another JAMCast. Until next time, we'll see you all soon. Peace.